Hey, my name's Dan Pinch. I'm the founder of isoKinetic Performance. I'm putting this video together because I just want to give you a brief introduction to isoKinetic Performance and tell you a bit about resistance band training and how it can help every single person out there, irrespective of age, gender, goal or fitness level. First, a bit about my story and how isoKinetic Performance started. I've been a rugby player since the age of 4, and I've also played a bunch of representative level sports throughout my career, including basketball, judo, hockey, athletics, and more recently I've been involved in skiing, rock climbing and road cycling. 3 years ago, during a rugby training session, I was taken down awkwardly, which dislocated my knee, ruptured my medial patellofemoral ligament, damaged my ACL and tore my knee cartilage. That, coupled with a spinal injury that I'd received prior, pretty much looked like the end of my sporting career. After my ligament reconstruction surgery, I simply wasn't willing to accept that I wouldn't be playing sports again. So I desperately searched for ways to rehabilitate my injury, build back the muscle I had lost, and regain my maximal strength and power. After trying various different methods and training plans, I finally came across resistance band training, and unlike anything else, it helped me achieve all of my fitness goals in injury rehabilitation, muscle gain and strength and power development. And miraculously, a mere 7 months after my operation, I was back on the rugby pitch, as fit, strong and healthy as ever. The reason resistance bands are such a diverse and powerful training tool is due to the type of muscle contraction it elicits, which is a form of isokinetic movement. Now, an isokinetic movement is that which controls the speed of your muscle contraction by incrementally adding resistance throughout the duration of your movement. Usually, this effect can only be achieved by the use of highly specialized and very expensive isokinetic machines, but resistance bands provide a cheap and very powerful alternative to achieving the same result of variable resistance. The use of resistance bands are extremely underrated in today's training programs, where almost everyone is looking for new ways to be fitter, healthier, stronger, more muscular and more toned. It seems obvious, but if you think about the principle of an isokinetic movement, you're actually adding resistance throughout the duration of the muscle contraction, meaning the resistance felt towards the end of a movement will be more than it was at the start. This principle alone is more effective at training your muscles than a normal isotonic contraction, where not only does the resistance remain the same, but the movement often becomes easier as the muscles contract. If you think about performing a bicep curl with a fairly heavy weight, you'll always find it's more difficult to start the movement when your arm is fully extended, but the closer to full flexion you get, the easier it seems to become. With isokinetic movements, that easy part doesn't exist, because more resistance is added, making it harder and getting the most out of every single rep. Where resistance band training really comes into its own is when you consider that even though a muscle contraction using bands is speed controlled, as the addition of resistance naturally slows the movement down, it's not speed limited, meaning if you use a lower resistance band, you can still increase the speed at which your muscle contracts, whilst also taking advantage of an increasing resistance. This means that you make the most of both isokinetic and isotonic contractions, incrementally increasing the resistance as well as offering variable speed. This has a profound effect on overloading your muscles much quicker and more efficiently than normal weights training, which in turn will help you achieve your fitness goals with much less effort and more efficiency. Unlike weights machines, free weights and blast straps, resistance bands don't rely on gravity to define the plane of movement. This means that you're not just limited to up and down movements, but you can actually work in all planes of motion, which is much more directly representative of real life and sporting situations, and thus adds a much higher degree of practicality in improving health and performance. My goal, and indeed the purpose of isokinetic performance, is to help everyone who wants to be stronger, fitter, more muscular, more toned, and just generally more healthy, and to help them do it in the most efficient way as possible. No matter who you are, whether a professional athlete or a 9-to-5 desk worker, or what your fitness goal, it can be achieved easier than you think with isokinetic bands.